Hello everyone, I'm Woko and welcome to Wokolandia. This is the third part of my first Warhammer kit. I know, it's probably way too long for a single Slave to Darkness Demon Prince kit. But in my defense, I need to say that is my first kit ever made, and I also tried to build 2 Demon Prince from a single kit, sculpting with Fimo the missing part. And obviously in the description you can find the other 2 videos about those Demon Prince. In the first one I sculpt and assemble the 2 Demon Prince. In the second one I scrap build and customize the 2 bases. And in this one I need to paint these 2 guys. And let me tell you now, I start to estimate way more the miniature painter I follow on YouTube, because I understand how difficult it is paint a miniature. Yes, I use some cheap color painting, and that means bad. Also, I don't use the airbrush, and even my glue are incorrect because I need to use plastic cement and I use super glue like in my custom toys. And even if this stuff make this process even more difficult than what it is, paint a miniature in a good standard level is very difficult. And back on the video, like you see, I used those 2 paper container and some double side tape for attach the miniature. In this way I can easily hold the Demon Prince for painting without touching. And this is a very useful and easy trick I learned from the many miniature painter channel. Back on the video, I start with a very diluted and watery color. In this way, the shadow created using black primer and zenithal highlight show up, help me to build some volume. Obviously, I have a lot to learn and improve on this stuff, but following those steps, I achieve a quite good result for a first time. And the miniatures are for sure ready for see some play on the table. And like you see, layer after layer, I build a good red color base. And despite I already like this result, I have another color scheme in mind. The idea is a very pale, nearly white skin tone, like a vampire. And for do that, I use some pale skin on dry brush over this red base. In this way I underline all the edges and the exposed part, leave the red in the recesses. And now it's time to use some pure white for underline some other detail. The dry brush make everything way more blurry, and with this little white dot I try to underline some important detail like the face or the muscle. Like in the previous step, the color is very diluted and I need 1 or 2 coat of color for achieve some good result. I use this process only for the skin, the exposed skin of the demons, and is the reason why I start from this naked guy. And after underline the edges with white, I create a simple, very diluted red, basically a wash or something, I don't know, with a lot of water for underline the muscle and the crevices. And is very cool because I don't have all this detail in a Master of the Universe. And after that is time to color all the metal part, and for do that I use this copper paint, and with that I color flat every single metal pieces apart the axe and some other little detail. After that I start using some black for the cloth, for the horn and for the spikes. And after the black base, out of camera, I use some gray for edge highlight the cloth and some gloss varnish for the horn and the spikes. Basically, I start to realize how many hours you can spend on a single miniature. Every single step takes a lot of time and you have a lot of detail. And here I use some pale gold for edge highlight the metal part and create some bright spot on the shoulder. And after that I decide to declare finish this miniature and start this other one. The first step is attach the backpack on the figure, and that's achieved using some super glue because I don't know how works plastic cement on Fimo. And after that the process is basically the same. Red base, pale skin dry brush and white on the edges for copy the other type of skin, and after that black for the armor and copper for the trim. This process was actually more speedy, probably because I already know the different steps. But overall, this stuff take me a lot of time in any case. This guy have more detail than the other, basically naked. And trying to underline the different pipes, trim, etc. was a real nightmare and very time consuming. But overall, I'm very glad to have started and finished this project. In this way I learned how actually paint a miniature, and despite I have a lot to improve, I start to understand what type of tool I need or what kind of color I need to buy. But at last, the very important part is start something. There is a lot of people who make and paint real work of art. And when you do something for the first time, you cannot achieve the same level. Because of that, it's very difficult to start something. Also, yeah, in my case, I show you my final result, and is a little bit different than keep my failure for myself. But like I said, if I never start something, I never could reach some achievement. And that is the very important point. Basically, if I do this stuff with this color here, you can do the same. Then try and fail how many times you need for find something you like. Back on the miniature, I reached this point where the armor and the skin are the same. Basically the armor become flashy and is a little bit messy, and I use this technique named wet blending. I colored the gauntlet in black, and before the color was dry I apply some red and stretch the color for mix the two colors together basically. Now I need to color a lot of other detail, but after that those miniatures are finished. Like always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have some question, comment down below. Like, share and subscribe is the best way for support the channel and is completely free. And now it's time to show you my two new Daemon prints.